Hello, everybody. My name is Gible. I am your host of the post Rapture recap. We are here for episode 9, season 2 of Golden Gates. Uh, we are covering the first person who eliminated from the double here. So if you have not watched episode 9, it's the penultimate one. It's a double episode. Two people are eliminated. Click off now. Go watch it. It's on the YouTube channel. We are here joined by the first person eliminated in that. I'm going to bring them up on stage. It is, of course, someone who you should never backstab because they will make sure you go home. It is German. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Gible?
I'm doing great. I think this is probably going to hit the 4 hours of Golden Gates podcasts this one week. Um, but I'm trapped in. I got a lot of snow going on, so I got nothing better to do, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll keep you some company.
Of course. So could you talk about a little bit, how did you prepare to go on the Golden Gates? And what were some of your initial reactions when you walked into the house and saw the cast?
Yeah, Golden Gates. I think I was told about it through Charlie, who played season 1. He told me he really liked it, so I went ahead and watched and applied because I really like the format. And to prepare, I played a couple of LRGs, so I just made sure my strategy going in was going to be very social and try to be cool with everyone. That way, I'm not like dragged or targeted early. And I knew how important it is to have connections because that's where the votes come in handy. When coming in, I saw a lot of Ascendance people. I saw Mike, Julia, and I was really excited to see them because I know they're gonna probably have my back. I saw Ben, who I have played an LRG with Ben before, and I know how good he is, so I did have my eye on him. Everyone else pretty much was new to me.
Rachel, right? Did we say Rachel?
Rachel, she's also from Ascendance. We didn't play the same season, but she's in the Ascendance, group. Oh, we actually
The plane.
now that I remember, we actually were on the same flight coming down. I looked back like 2 seats behind me and I'm like, tap, 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 Rachel, like, what are you doing here? Why are you going to Columbus on the same exact day that I'm going? And so we actually had lunch, and it was great getting to know her. That was my first time really like, because we've been friends online, but we find like, friends in person, and we talked about the game and everything. So I was excited to work with her a lot.
Yeah. No, I would have turned that plane into an 8-hour strategy session if that was me.
I know, should have.
So luckily we don't see a lot of you in the premiere, which is usually a good sign that you're going to make it to the end game. You get pretty far in the divide and subtract Omni. During this round where, I mean, we know you like Rachel, we know you like some of these Ascendance people. Were there anyone that you were sort of weary of after this first episode, like you were targeting necessarily?
I wouldn't say there was anyone that was specifically targeting. The people that went further into the rounds, or the people that I saw that were really fighting to be Omni, I would keep my eye on. But there wasn't anyone that I really said stood out that I was going to target, or that I was going to be a problem for me.
Yeah. In the second episode, we see that Logan wins the Omni, and he puts you up as a pawn. I think it was because you were one of the most socially connected people in the game. Were you surprised that people this early on saw how much of a social player you were?
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. It was kind of shocking to me. I did not want to go up that early because once you go up, I feel like it's easy to continue to be put up, especially if you're put up as a pawn. That's not what I want to be. I don't want to be a pawn in the game. So when he clocked that, I wasn't too worried, but at the same time, like they said, the votes are anonymous. You never know if someone might flip the script, and pawns do go home. So I was surprised, but I wasn't gonna panic because under pressure is when I really push myself, and I was gonna make sure that I stayed calm, worked on relationships, so that if I needed to get the votes, I could.
Yeah. Well, speaking of staying calm, can you tell us what it was like for you going through the what's in the box challenge with Trish and Rachel?
That challenge was really, really, really fun. Like I really enjoyed it. honestly, I wasn't even really thinking about winning. I was just having a good time with my girls, you know? I didn't want, I think at the first round, I wanted to tell the truth, to kind of gauge the girls and see how they picked up on me telling the truth or telling, you know, if I would need to tell a lie later on. And then as the rounds went on, I think I tried to lie on. Did I try to lie? Or maybe I told the truth again, but I wanted to seem like I was telling a lie. You know, you're trying to get them to switch their votes. So it was just fun, honestly. I wasn't thinking about getting the drag power.
You
Sorry.
good?
Can you see?
No, you're good. Yeah.
My alarm went off. So when I lost that, I wasn't too worried. And I was happy to not get the drag power because also that's another way of showing your cards. And, you know, if I did get the drag power, I definitely know Mike wouldn't have been dragged that round. I probably would have dragged maybe like a John or a Ty. I don't, were they eligible at that time? Probably.
John and Ty, like, I'll double check. I think they're both.
Yeah, probably around there. So,
Yeah. You couldn't drag Koa or Julia, but other than that, it seemed like everyone was fair game.
So Mike would have been good with me. Now that I think about it, you know, I'm not afraid to drag. So like I wish that maybe I had won that power, you know, or not, I'm not afraid to get the drag power. So
yeah,
future, don't be afraid to go for it.
Yeah, I want to give you credit because I think you had every now and again I take notes of when I'm like, okay, this shows that they're a great player. And in your speech, one of like the two memorable speeches this season, you said, "Remember that there's a jury," when you're telling them right before they go to vote. I don't know if this pushed anyone, but it showed to me like just how mindful you were in the game. So I wanted to give you credit.
Yeah, I think for that I was just trying to say like, you know, be straightforward. You know, as Trish said, she's an honest player. Be honest. Like, don't lie to me as I'm going out the door because there is a jury and the jury interacts the whole game. We're not like sequestered or just, you know, into another house. So be straight up. There's no hidden immunity idols or anything like that. So remember there's jury, yeah.
And it seems like even though you were close with Mike at this point, that you are also saving Trish here. So we'll circle back on this when the later episodes come around with Trish, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So going into the overnight phase, did you know that you would be someone who is like targeted for the drag?
Who is the person doing
So
the drag?
Logan ends up dragging you and you have to sit next to John for the episode 3.
Okay. I don't remember if we knew that Logan was going to be the one dragging.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, because he had nominated me the round prior, so I was kind of worried he was going to drag me again. I think I tried to not be his drag, but at that point, relationships have already developed. You know, lines have already been drawn. I believe he said that he didn't really want to like create another mess, like to target another person because he's already put me up. It's easy to just put me back up again. So I was worried. So I think my mindset was to, okay, let's focus. You're going to go up. So let's get a step ahead of it. Talk to people, get votes. Because you don't want to be fighting to not be dragged. You know, you're already going to be dragged. You know.
Yeah. Did you feel safe knowing, like, I mean, were you aware that people were not going to save John here and that he was going to get out unanimously?
I don't know if it was I knew unanimously, but I knew that there was 2 huge targets sitting next to me, and I knew that people probably weren't going to come after me. John winning the first Omni, and John was such a huge character. I knew that there was a good chance that I was going to be safe.
Yeah. We see in episode 4 you build this alliance of Ty, Julia, Danny, Maddie, and yourself. And then you have a core in that of Julia and Danny. How much stock were you putting into this in terms of like, were you that solid with that group, or was it still like you were playing for yourself individually?
I was very solid with that group. Finally, episode 4, I was happy to finally be with a group because I was starting to learn that you can't do this on your own. You're going to need a team. I was happy to finally find some people to rock and roll with. I was ready to go to the end with these people. I was ready to do everything that I can for these people. Yeah, definitely. I would say Julia and Danny were my like final three, the people that I was close to. I was getting really, really close to Bex, and I really wanted to go far with her. And then Maddie was also someone that I was really close to. Yeah, I just was happy to finally find something solidified, and I felt like moving forward, I probably wouldn't be going up.
Yeah. Well, you're definitely not going up this episode. You end up winning the Weight Watchers competition. And I think Danny throws it to you in the end as well.
Yeah.
What's it? You joke about Rachel going up, and then she ends up going up later. So that was the funny bit in the editing. I don't know if you got that.
Yeah, this is another great challenge. I really enjoyed it. Love the editing, by the way. I'm a huge like WWE wrestling fan, so this was great. Yeah, I really wanted to win this. I was tired of going up. I felt like I needed to win Omni early because the earlier you win the Omni, the more options you have of people to put up. And I felt like if I waited too long, then I'm gonna have to start, breaking bridges and putting up people and, maybe destroying my relationships. So I was happy to win this early. I believe I was the first to put up all three men. Thank you.
Double check.
I think I put up Logan, Noah, and Hot Girl Chris.
Yes.
Yeah, I just felt like those three were obviously Logan been coming after me cutthroat. I felt like Hot Girl Chris had put a target on me and Danny and Maddie and pointed us out. And then me and Noah, we didn't really have a game relationship really. So I think those were the best nominations for me. I did joke that Rachel, you're going up, just to be funny. I hope that the universe didn't take that and run with it. But I think something I learned, now is maybe you should put up an ally, or maybe I don't know, maybe put up two allies, because the allies can save each other, and then the power to drag. So I wasn't thinking about who's going to drag. Would they drag Rachel?
Yeah. I wonder how did putting up allies work out for John in the first episode with Ty?
Yeah.
Did you have a target of these three people? Because it seemed like Chris was the most on to you and your alliances.
I would say I didn't care who went home out of the three, but if I had a choice, I think my target was going to be Logan. Not only did he put me up, he dragged me. I didn't feel like our relationship was getting anywhere, and I feel like I could repair it with Hot Girl Chris. And then Noah, I didn't feel like Noah was targeting me, so Noah was kind of just like a pawn.
Yeah. We see in the fast forward, I don't think you get all this information, but Logan wants to nominate you. I think you could probably guess that. But did you know that at this point Trish was looking at you as one of her potential nominees?
I felt it. I did feel it, because I was thinking about putting her up too on the fast forward. I believe I put my same noms up, but I was thinking of switching Hot Girl Chris and her. But in the end, I went and just did the same noms because I felt like that wouldn't get too much blood on my hands. But yeah. I felt it. I felt the shift. I kind of felt the house kind of like dividing, and I saw the little fractions. And with Trish, we were cool. We had good talks. We had a good like outside of game relationship. But when it came to the game, we weren't really working necessarily with the same people or going the same direction. So I felt like, okay, there's a shift here. I'm probably gonna have to target her soon because I feel good with everyone else mostly.
Yeah. It's in this episode as well that you end up getting dragged by Chris. And it seems like, I mean, you're under a thing where you're both saving each other, but I thought it was interesting that Danny was campaigning really for you to stay in the game, even though Danny was close with Logan. Could you talk us why, like, how did you and Danny become such close allies in the game?
For me and Danny, I think we just get each other. I think we're both strategic. We saw the game as a chessboard, and we just saw who was with who, what was best for us. I think me and Danny just clicked, and we were able to run ideas and strategy with each other. And I think Danny just saw that I was probably a better ally for them than Logan. Hot Girl Chris pulled me, and I believe I remember he told me, I'm dragging you because I want us to save each other. Initially, I'm shocked. I'm like, what the fuck? Please don't drag me. But I see the strategy behind it. Even though he was dragging me, I wasn't too scared because I felt like, okay, if he's already saving me, that's one vote already. I just got to rally some other votes. Logan pretty much came up to me and was like, sorry, dude, I'm not saving you. And I was like, okay, so now I'm going to go to bat to save Chris and save myself. But at that point, I was open to working with Logan and repairing our relationship or working with Hot Girl. It didn't matter who I worked with at that point. So when he said that to me, I was like, okay, I guess he doesn't want to work with me. So then I think I went to rally for me and Chris. But if Logan had just cut a deal with me, I would have put the past in the past because I'm not one to hold grudges. I'm ready to move forward, with people that want to work with me. And I would have probably saved Logan that round. But Chris was the only one that came and said, hey, let's save each other. And so that's what I did. And I didn't think, well, Logan told me, oh, he's saving Chris, but in the end, he ended up saving me. So I mean, I don't know what happened there.
Yeah. I wish I had a photo of it, but in the Golden Gates Bridge, this is the outdoor one, that you are like wrapped up in this blanket because of how freezing it is. Can you talk about how cold it was and like was that affecting the mental state at this stage in the game?
Oh my God, it was freezing. I'm from Florida, so
Oh yeah.
below 60 degrees, it's freezing to me. So I was wrapped up. I believe that was Julia's blanket, or maybe it might have been Rachel. I think it was Julia's. But I'm known for taking other people's clothing, other people's blankets and items. So I was wrapped up. I felt good in that challenge because I was killing it. Like the universe was with me. Every time I went, I would think I was the person who got the furthest each round. And if it wasn't for that note that said, you've been self-eliminated, I really think I was going to win that Omni because I really was pushing for it.
Yeah. Seems like you pushed for Chris to go home as well, which makes sense because he was going after you at this point. Do you think you were one of the people who had their hot girl privileges revoked?
I do think they were revoked temporarily, but I had it right. I had a reason to go after Hot Girl Chris. Who were they against in that round? Do you remember?
Yeah. Let me pull it up. It was Beck and Trish, your two favorites.
Right. Love Beck for sure. I think I would have been down to do like a Trish blindside that round. Obviously, I'm keeping my eye, but there wasn't enough traction. Trish, she had a good social capital in that game also. So you have to find the right time to strike, and you don't want to strike too early. So at that point, all eyes was on Hot Girl Chris. I'm gonna go with that for now, and just keep it ready.
Yeah. In the very next episode, you get the speak no evil disadvantage. You can't talk. I've texted Logan. I've texted some of the people who are in the pits this round. Did you ever figure out why you were targeted for disadvantage? Because it seemed like a lot of the people on the jury did like you. It was confusing to me, at least.
It was confusing to me. I was shook. I was like, what? A disadvantage? The jury hates me. I need to step my game up or something. I want to say it was Hot Girl Chris and probably Logan, who were probably kind of pushing for me to get a bad thing. And then Mike told me he kind of just went along with it because he had to give them something in order for him to, because he had his people he wanted to target. So he wanted to give them something to them so that he can get, the other people later. So I'm glad it was that and not like, a lose a vote or something later. But that I got to choose, and I chose Speak No Evil because I wanted to hear conversations. That would have been difficult. And then if I can't see, I probably can't win competitions. So even though I had the Hear No Evil, I was still, or the Speak No Evil, sorry, I was still able to do really well in the competition, this for safety.
Yeah.
And if John didn't win that round, I think he probably goes home.
Yeah. Well, John is like the LeBron James of these random carnival games, so I don't know if anyone's going to be able to beat him there.
Yeah.
I did write down also this is a good episode for you in terms of your social game really starts to shine um with you being like the whole party guy, the vibes guy, the batty batty shot o'clock, or I don't know if that was you necessarily. Yeah,
Yeah.
John beat me to it in the chat. Um,
Yeah,
but
that was me. I wanted to turn the punishment into something good. You know, you have to. The game is gonna throw you curveballs, and you have to work with what you have. And I was like, okay, so how can I make this something fun, something good? You know, so I just was trying to party and Betty Betty shout o'clock, and trying to be a little bit shady with it, just have fun and make sure everyone felt good with me.
yeah. Well, speaking of everyone feeling good with you, it's interesting that like you just said Beck was one of the people you felt good with because I think the reason she ends up going up, she writes down your name and says drag German.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, did you know she was going to flip on you at this point? Did you have any sense of this?
I didn't think she would flip on me, but I did see the panic in her eyes. I did see the panic when we would be talking with the chalkboards. She was so worried and flustered, and I was like, it's okay. You're not going anywhere. You're safe. And I kept reassuring her because I truly felt that. I was like, who? No one's told me they're targeting back, and I don't feel that. Um, I think Danny probably was torn, and as I said, me and Danny have like a final two, final three. Like we're really cool. So once you show Danny my name, it's kind of like the nail in the coffin. Because I think she was trying to target other people, but then it comes to me, it's just like, girl, you're doing too much at this point. Like, and I was sad to see her go up because I didn't want Beck to go so soon.
Yeah. So at the end of day two, Maddie wins the power to drag. And it seems like you were pretty in on this plan to go against Ty. Was Ty someone, I mean, it didn't seem like you were working against them or with them at any point in the game, but you were pretty involved in the plan to get them out. Was there any particular motivation to target Ty at this round?
I would say towards the middle of the game, I was kind of working with Ty via Julia. Had a good working relationship, but I saw how close Ty was to uh, I saw how close Ty was to other people and to Trish, and I saw how loved he was with the jury, and I had a lot of fear. If Ty gets far, he's good at competitions. He's good with the jury. If he slips his way to the end, I don't think that's someone that I can beat. So when this idea is presented for us to kind of blindside him, I'm like, yes, this is our chance. This might be our only chance. You don't get all these opportunities. So I believe with Julia and Maddie and Noah, we concoct this plan to kind of. It was set up, I believe, from the night before into the morning to blindside Ty because hey, if you don't take the shot, we might not get another chance. And I love him as a person, love him as a player. I wish we were working together from the beginning, but it was time to cut ties. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we get to this double elimination. Danny ends up winning. Danny won the HOH, the Omni.
Yeah.
And you have a great line where you told Trish, I'm gonna vote to save you, and that's me being honest. Um, just want to highlight that one. Um,
Yes.
so it's between you and Koa to get dragged this round.
Mm.
Tell us about like what were the emotions like when you get dragged down? I mean, I have to imagine you're pretty upset or surprised by it.
This is a pretty chaotic round. So I almost beat Danny in the Omni competition,
Yeah.
but
Final two.
and I feel happy because I'm like, okay, I'm not going up. But right before we're about to do the power of safety or whatever, Trish out She's like, Julia, if you don't win this, I'm dragging you. And in my mind, I'm like, that ain't me. So I'm good. But then Julia is my final two. Julia is my friend. That's my girl. We're friends outside of this game. I immediately see how distraught she is and panicked. And she pulls me in and she's like, can you please throw this for me? And I'm like, girl, if you don't get dragged, it's gonna be me. Cause that's how I initially felt. But then I started to think about it and I was like, okay, if Julia loses, she is getting dragged for sure. But if I can give this to Julia, there's a possibility I can get Trish to not drag me because we have been working together. We're not against each other. But at this point, I don't know her relationship with Noah. I know that she's really close with John, but I feel like I can get Noah on the block. So I'm killing this competition, by the way. Like, I don't think I drop a single can until the end. And when I get to the end, I have my one can left, and I'm looking over, and I'm seeing like who's in the lead, and I'm like, okay, if Julia's close, I can throw it to her. But if she's not close, I'm just gonna go ahead and win it because I'm not gonna let someone else win over us. So I take my final can, and I'm like, okay, I go to put it up, and I'm like, if it falls, it falls. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I didn't really do it with much care as I was doing the other can. So on my last can, I kind of like drop it and it falls. And then Julia goes and she gets it. And I'm like, okay, good. So Julia's safe. Now I just have to make sure that Noah goes up. But now that I think about it, it probably, because you think of strategy after the game, it probably would have been a good idea if me and Julia threw the challenge together. That way we can vote in the voting together. So yeah, I'm begging Trish, please don't put me up. And I'm being honest, playing an honest game. Because I did see Noah as someone who had the ability to get to the end. During the game, I felt like a lot of people weren't targeting him enough. So I was like, if you don't put Noah up, they're gonna go far. Like, they're probably gonna get to the end. And if you do this, if you don't put me up, I will save you, and it's guaranteed. But then they're gonna pull me, so I was like, fuck, okay, now I need to try to rally votes. So now I have to try to rally votes. I didn't realize with the two people in the game that I'm like least connected to, I was like, fuck, all my final twos and my alliance members are in the gates. I'm like, okay, well, let's put on these boots and let's get to networking. I believe it was Noah, and because John told me straight up he's not saving me. He's saving me. I'm not wasting time there. So I pull Noah and Ben, and I'm trying to get them to kind of throw their votes on me. Noah's wishy-washy. So I'm like, okay, if I can't save myself, I kind of felt like, okay, I'm going home. So if I'm going home, I want to make the decision on who is coming with me. So I'm like, okay, Noah, why don't we just save Ben? And this will be a blindside. You need something for your resume. People have been saying that, you've just kind of been coasting. Like, this would be a huge move. You'll be the one, orchestrating it. And he was really, really thinking about it. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of throwing my game away, but I'm kind of dead in the water. So like, I want Trish to come out with me. At this point, I'm thinking Ben is saving Trish. So we're going up the stairs to vote, and Noah is like, when I tell you, convulsing, crying, like, and I'm like, is he okay? I'm like, girl, you're about to ruin this blindside. What are you doing? Like, at this point, I'm thinking, oh my God, like Trish is gonna switch her vote, or Ben. I don't know. I just think the blindside is getting ruined. The votes come back and it ties. I'm very confused as to like who voted where. It ended up being that Ben saved me and Noah voted Trish, and it ties. I'm like, oh God. And then I'm like, well, I'm thinking Danny's gonna come break the tie, so whatever. But then when they bring out the wheel, I'm like, oh my God. And then one of the options was for me to be the one to out the game. I was like, please, Golden Gates gods, this is it. If there's one thing I need from you, is to land on my name, my face. It almost does, but it lands on the jury. Oh my god, this was such a good episode.
Oh yeah.
And then the jury even comes down to like what is it, a 4-3 vote? I'm like praying to the gods, like please, I need Trish to come out this game with me.
Were you able to count the votes, and did you know that Ben had voted to save you rather than Trish?
Oh, when the votes were revealed, I was so confused because the way that Noah was crying, I thought for sure he was like sad that he had to vote Trish out. So I thought, I don't even know what I thought the votes. And then, but Ben like talked to me in my ear on the bench, and he was like, "Yeah, I voted to save you." I was like, "Oh, so Noah did save Trish." So confusing on that vote.
Yeah. Well, I think you definitely played a fantastic social game. It's a lot of fun watching you on the season. Was there any part of your game that you feel like wasn't be able to get highlighted during the episodes?
um, Maybe just like me. I mean, you saw a little bit of it when I got Batty Shadow Clock. I'm just having a
Oh
good
yeah.
time working my social game. Um, when I was in the gates when I won Omni that first time, I'm gonna be honest, I went to sleep. I was tired. I wish I worked with the jury more and spoke with them more. Um, and then moving forward, it was all about just like having fun and trying to get to the end with like Danny and Julia for me. Um, Probably one of the most fun I've had in an LRG. And I mean, I love the concept. I love that, there's 3 nominees, it's a vote to save. So it's not so cut and dry, these are the 2 targets, one of them is going home, So I love the levels of this game. It really tested me socially, it tested me strategically. I guess, like I said earlier, my biggest lesson learned is you need to have your allies with you voting. You know, if you see
Yeah.
that your allies are going to the gates, if your ally wins Omni, girl, you better get out of there because you're gonna be in danger.
Yeah, I think that's a common theme throughout the season. That anytime that your ally is the Omni or wins the protection, then you're going home,
Mm-hmm.
because you lose those votes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That being said, thank you again so much for taking the time out of your day to do this interview. Do you have any projects or social media you want to shout out on the podcast?
Yeah, follow me on social media at German Monster, JERMIN Monster on all platforms. Right now, airing is Dilemma 2, I believe, on Fridays, YouTube. I'm also on Marooned Season 3,
Yeah.
that's airing currently. And
New episode just came out before this, right?
yeah, it did. Really good episode. And everyone needs to watch Dilemma Season 2, Episode 2. Ate it up. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the future. Maybe you'll see me sometime soon.
All right. My name is Gible. You can check out this podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Check out my Instagram at Duck7Man. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the flip side.
All
Peace.
right. Bye bye.